Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Ich warte seit Wochen auf diesen Tag und tanz vor Freude über den Asphalt. Als wär's ein Rhythmus, als gäb's ein Lied, das mich immer weiter durch die Straßen zieht. Komm dir entgegen.
Hello and welcome to Gegenpressing, the Bundesliga podcast. I'm Manu and Stefan. He is Stefan Berkowski. Stefan, first of all, how's it going? And second, we have a guest today.
Yeah, we do. I'm very well. Delighted to welcome Chris back onto the show. Good friend, Gegenpressing OG. I'm sure long-time listeners will know him well. Anyone who used to listen to him commentate on the Bundesliga will know as well, actually. And he also does a lot of writing as well, still in the Bundesliga. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. I normally like to take June off, but not had that pleasure this year. I should be looking at Formula 1 and tennis and all sorts, but I've still got one eye on football. In fact, I've got two eyes on it now because it's July, but I did like to take June off.
Yeah, no taking June off for us this year, Chris. It feels like June is the new July in terms of transfer season. There was no pausing this year at all. It's good to see you. It's good to hear you. It's been way too long. And of course, as Stefan mentioned, you are the OG. We founded this podcast 6 years ago now. That's unbelievable.
I had hair then. I mean, I've still got it now, but I had hair in the correct place. I didn't have my head on upside down then.
I had no gray hair then. This is how much we've aged. But guys, we have a lot to discuss today. And the reason Chris is on, first of all, he's on because he's awesome and he's always welcome on the show. But second, we had a discussion on the Gegenpressing WhatsApp show, WhatsApp group chat, let's say it that way, about Leipzig, about RB Leipzig, the transfer policy, the things that have been happening or still happening as we speak, right? Because there is a few deals that are not actually confirmed yet in the incoming and in the outgoing. And this is basically surrounding whether they are, whether it is too much, whether they're actually letting too many players go, whether the squad reshuffling that they're doing, despite the money that they're earning, is actually too much. And let's just recap real quickly what happened here, right? Nkunku is gone. That's a 60 million euro transfer. Szoboszlai is gone. That's a 70 million euro transfer. And it looks like Guardiola could be the next. That deal is very much inching towards the finish line. That's a 100 million euro transfer. Stefan, am I missing someone? Konrad Laimer. Sorry, Konrad Laimer to Bayern Munich, or free transfer. I mean, this is one that the easiest one probably for them to replace because they've known about this for quite some time. They signed Seiwald to replace him from the favorite club Salzburg. Of course, Baumgartner's come back in from Hoffenheim, and then Seško comes in from Salzburg as well, right? So they have done some homework already. But guys, let's start with the Szoboszlai deal because I think this is a player would they really desperately tried to keep, right? And they tried to avoid any sort of clubs coming in to sign him pretty much until the final minute, because there was a buyout agreement in his contract that would have expired July 1st. Chris, Liverpool come in, they get it done pretty much in the final hours of that June 30th deadline. It's a big deal. 70 million euros is a lot of money for Liverpool and also for Leipzig. Let's start with that one here first, because that is quite an interesting deal, and the way it has transpired and the quickness of it, I think, caught a lot of us off guard.
Yeah, it did. Obviously, Liverpool are desperate for new midfielders. They've had, an exodus of them in the window. Obviously, Chamberlain's gone, Naby Keita's gone, who was a massive disappointment in the end when he arrived from Leipzig, full of potential. Didn't really live up to that. James Milner's gone. They've had some issues as well. Henderson's probably got the best of years behind him. Fabinho had a poor season, and it was evident to anybody that watched Liverpool be in the Premier League or be in the Champions League last season that midfield was the issue. Defense not bad, attack pretty good, but it's the link between the two which was poor, and they needed to address that, and they have. I think it's just a shame for Leipzig because Szoboszlai is a brilliant player. But I think when we chatted before this, we discussed that, Leipzig, do they let too many players go? I think this is probably the only one that you can let them off with because it's a release clause. It's a contractual agreement. Liverpool came in, they tried to negotiate around it, but, had to pay the release clause in the end, and that's what they did. Maybe set it a little bit higher, but I don't think anybody would have known how good he was going to be when he came in, because he had that injury early on, and it took him a little while to settle. And the last year or so, he's become a phenomenal player, and he's probably there or thereabouts. I know he's valued at transfer mark slightly lower, and that's probably a more realistic value. But we know these days that footballers don't hold a realistic value. They don't hold the market value. They hold the value of how much is it going to replace if we sell this person, or how much, if we sell this person, will it cost us to replace? I think that's where that release clause has been drawn. Leipzig, bit of a stepping stone club, but do they get these players without it? But yeah, Szoboszlai is going to be a massive loss for them. So covering the Bundesliga myself, and Manu, you tweeted out, it's a shame that these players are leaving, and it is. But as a Liverpool fan, I'm really excited to watch him play at Anfield. Yeah,
no, I know. I personally think that is the reality of any club in the world. There's maybe a handful of teams that are not sellers clubs. I mean, even a club like Liverpool or someone like Real Madrid comes around, they have to sell, right? You can count on less than one hand the teams that can say no. Unfortunately, one of those teams is in the Bundesliga, and this is all the other teams in the Bundesliga trying to chase this club. And Stefan, we were quite optimistic about Leipzig's prospects. We named Marco Rose as one of the potential head coaches of the year because of the run-in he had. This is a lot of pieces that he has the potential to replace, and we do know that the pipeline for Leipzig is quite strong. But Szoboszlai this really came into his own, as Chris mentioned, not the best season last year, but since Rose has been in charge, he's been really, really important for them. This is a huge loss for Leipzig.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.